next performer, Travis Voeltz, asked me a good question. He said, is it kind of tacky to do the comedy review in a church basement? And especially in the Presbyterian church basement. And I wasn't quite sure what he meant by especially, and what he meant was this. You see, Travis understands that, well, his Methodist church sprang from the Episcopal Church, and the Episcopal Church sprang from the Roman Catholic Church, and I think most of you know that the Roman Catholic Church sprang from the mother of all churches, the Presbyterian Church. And he said, I think there's a concept maybe that you don't understand, Travis. It's called predestination. We Presbyterians are big on predestination. He says, I don't understand that concept. I said, well, our new pastor here, Mr. Johnny Rhodes, the first week he was here, was getting used to the building, and he tripped on the steps out here, and there was, Johnny's a big man, and there was a crash and a bang and a boom, and the staff were out there in just moments, and John was battered and bruised, but he was okay. But he gave a statement as he got up that was so Presbyterian and so predestination. He said, thank God that's over. You know, each year we probably have 50 to 100 people who try out for positions on the Comedy Revue. All right, 25 to 40. But anyway, the winner this year is a young man who is going to come out here, and now that he understands that, well, for those of you who do feel it's kind of tacky here to do this in a church basement, we don't really feel good about it, but counselors will be available at the end of the show, and the two counselors are going to be Diane and Dwayne Witzig. Now, if you get a choice, I would go to Diane, because Dwayne has a tendency to just stare at you and shake his head. Anyway, keep that in mind if you feel bad about this. Ladies and gentlemen, our next performer, Mr. Travis Voeltz.
I see my plan of nobody showing up is out the window. I was really hoping nobody was going to show so I could go finish my shopping. I get interrupted earlier. Before I get started, is there any really boisterous laughers here? Anyone that really laughs loudly? Don't all raise your hand at once, please. Okay. Well, I just asked that you don't scare me, okay? I am wearing white pants today. So yeah, I got interrupted for my shopping earlier, and I would have finished, but unfortunately I got out of there late because I chose the express lane. What kind of sadistic person named that thing the express lane? Is he here? Not only do they name it the express lane, but the people they get to work the express lane, they look like they should be a fortune teller or a leprechaun. And, okay, to all of you out here in the audience, when it says 20 items or less, you don't actually have to have 20 items in that lane. Okay? I'm in line for 10 minutes with a candy bar and a birthday card. I got a guy in front of me with 20 items. All I wanted was some attire for tonight's show. I was thinking a plain black shirt with some white lettering on it, really big, that says, I'm single. But I thought that kind of advertising would be too obvious. Okay. It's hot up here, huh? All right. So, while I'm on the subject of shopping, has there anyone in this room ever been to Walmart after 10 o'clock at night? You're alive to tell about it. Well, take my advice, don't do it. Where do these people come from? Everybody in there after 10 o'clock at night, they got a limp, a drool, some kind of deformity. Don't do it. Okay, so as Bruce was polite enough to mention that I'm the rookie, thank you, Bruce. I was going around for some advice on what I would talk about tonight, and the one common theme I got from everybody was stay away from religion. Do not go over religion. And I said, well, that's probably a good idea, considering we're in the basement of a church. So, with that in mind, I'm going to read some excerpts from this book, Changing a Light Bulb the Christian Way. How many Christians does it take to change a light bulb? Okay, we're going to cover a few denominations here. Yes, you are expected to raise your hand if I mention you. Charismatic. Okay. Only one. Hands are already in the air. Pentecostal. Okay. 10. One to change the bulb, and 9 to pray against the spirit of darkness. You may not know this, but I got this book in the discount rack at Walmart. Presbyterians. None. Lights will go on and off at predestined times. Roman Catholic. None. Candles only. If you'd like to hear about my experience in the Catholic Church, I'll talk to you after the show. Baptists. At least 15. 1 to change the light bulb, and 3 committees to approve the change, and decide who brings the potato salad and fried chicken. Whoops. Episcopalians, 3. 1 to call the electrician, 1 to mix the drinks, and 1 to talk about how much better the old one was. That was a long one. Speaking of long ones, what? Does anybody here have voicemail by chance? You come. We got a real honest crowd here. Real honest. No voicemail in the bunch? Yeah, I can see the age over here. Any answering machines with rotary phones? Just came to me. You know those messages, those very long-winded people? You sit down, you listen to your message, and you don't know that it's going to be a 3-minute conversation, right? They go on and on and on. Let's be honest, after the first 30 seconds, you're not really listening anymore. So you're waiting for the time when they're finally going to give you some contact information. You got your piece of paper here, you got your pencil, you're like, I'm ready. But, of course, you're starting to nod off because it's so long. They finally get to the part, the meat and potatoes of the message, the callback number. Okay? So after 3 minutes of them taking time, explaining every detail, they say something like, yeah, this is John, you can call me back at 701-252-7316. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah! The look on your face, because you know the only thing you got was the 7. So what's that mean? You got to listen to the whole thing again. Man. All right, on that note, Mormons. 5. 1 man to change the bulb, and 4 wives to tell him how to do it. Oh, that's not just Mormons. Talking about Mormons remind me, when I was a young laddie, I lived in Idaho. there was a lot of Mormons. Most of my friends were Mormons. And I'll tell you what, there's one thing I grew up hating, it was Sundays. They couldn't play. I'd go, here's little Travis. So-and-so play. I'm sorry, I can't. Well, why not? Well, it's the day of rest. Well, if it's the day of rest, why do I see him doing yard work all day over there? That's a cop-out. All right, I think I better continue. All right, Unitarians. We choose not to make a statement either in favor of or against the need for a light bulb. However, if in your own journey you have found that light bulbs work for you, you are invited to write a poem or compose a modern dance about your light bulb for the next Sunday service, in which we will explore a number of light bulb traditions, including incandescent, fluorescent, three-way, long life, and tinted, all of which are equally valid paths to luminescence. I feel bad for you folks, this is a thick book. Methodist. Methodist. Undetermined whether your light is bright, dull, or completely out, you are loved. You can be a light bulb, a turnip bulb, or a tulip bulb. Bring a bulb of your choice to the Sunday lighting service and a covered dish to pass. That reminds me, this is potluck season, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. I've been to a few. I gotta say, sheer genius coming up with that name. Potluck. There's a lot of luck involved in potluck, isn't there? Okay, number one, you're lucky if you don't walk out of there with indigestion. Number two, you're pretty lucky if I don't cook something for the potluck. All right, Nazarene, 6. One woman to replace a bulb, while 5 men review church lighting policy. Lutherans. Hey, you got guts, kid. Usually you cheer after. None. Lutherans don't believe in change. Well, we got about 2 left here of this chapter. Amish. What's a light bulb? I'll tell you what, those Amish got it figured out though, don't they? Boy, they live a simple life. Real simple. Kind of reminded me of the Hutterites south of town. I'll tell you what, when I think of Hutterites, I think of one thing. Boy, they got great chicken. Just hide the silverware. I don't know if there's any pitchforks outside waiting. All this talk about religion, some of my friends know that I'm really into fitness. I really like working out. So I'm like, I want to do something that will really bring the religious folk into my gymnasium. So I'm going to open in here in Jamestown a religious-based gym. I'm going to call it Jehovah's Fitness. Somebody we didn't cover was the Mayans. Is that a religion? I don't know. A lot of talk about the Mayans in the press lately, right? Yeah, end of the world stuff. They don't know what they're doing. They got it wrong. I'm a no Mayan, but I decided when the end of the world was coming. You know when I figured it out? When, Travis?
When?
When?
When I saw a commercial for pajama jeans.
Yeah.
Have you seen these things? What's the commercial say? Oh, they're very stylish. I'll tell you what, you know the one way to sell a lot of pajama jeans? They need to market it to men. We will wear anything, won't we? Right? Right, guys? I mean, obviously. My dad used to go to Walmart wearing a gray t-shirt, red sweatpants, and slippers. I kid you not. True story. So, I'm just going to leave you with one small tip, and this isn't exactly in season right now. Is there any car dealers here? Good. Especially in the winter months, and we know a little something about winter around here. If you have some of those newer vehicles with the heated seats, do me a favor, warn your passenger. Has anyone experienced this by surprise before? I'm going to explain my experience. So I'm in a car, passenger side, and nobody warned me. I'm sitting there, it was a winter day, perfectly comfortable, not a care in the world. And the driver, talking and talking and talking. Yeah, female. And I started getting this weird sensation. And it was really down deep. And you don't really know at first where it's coming from. The first thing that happens is your mind starts going back, what did I eat for lunch? About 2 seconds later it goes to, how long until the next rest stop? You start moving around a little bit. You know, start to change the subject, maybe crack the window a little bit. And you're looking at them wondering, are they going through this too? So what I'm suggesting is, put a warning label, okay, right up on the dashboard, or at least tell your passengers if the heated seats. Folks, you've been great, I appreciate it. It's my first time out. If you need me, I'm going to be in the express lane at Walmart.